This is just beyond beautiful. This is the good life.
I'm setting off on a little trip to celebrate the best life has to offer.
Everything's beautiful, Ivan.
Beautiful.
The Italians talk about la dolce vita.
What is La Dolce Vita? Are we living it now? Is it here?
The French,
La belle vie. La belle
Et les
vie.
bons vivants.
it's what inspires us, what makes us happy.
Well, this is fun.
It's about great food and drink and fabulous company.
Basically, in an Italian dream here.
We are in Italian life. This is not a dream.
Appreciating glorious culture.
Just kind of throbs with energy and dynamism, radical and romantic and wild and dangerous.
World-class art.
I really think this is just gonna blow your mind.
Soaking up landscapes that lift the soul.
Great. Oh, I could get used to this.
This time, I arrive in the magical city of Florence and glimpse one of the most famous paintings in the world.
Pretty raunchy, really, really radical.
Discover the spectacular delights of exclusive Lake Como
Life can't get much better than this.
and sample the exquisite taste of the best Italian gelato.
A lot of ice cream down my hand and arm.
I'm starting my journey this week in one of Italy's most fabulous regions, Tuscany. And driving a vintage Alfa Romeo through the stunning scenery is pretty special.
Oh my God, this is so beautiful.
I'm on my way to one of my very favourite places, somewhere rich in culture that for hundreds of years has been dedicated to the creation and appreciation of beauty. Florence, a gleaming jewel of Tuscany. In its heyday, it was the home of great artists like Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci. I first came here when I was a wide-eyed teenager, and I think it changed my life.
It's number 11.
I'm in a hotel right in Florence's historic heart. My very own room with a view.
Oh, that is a view.
This magnificent Renaissance piazza, built over 500 years ago, is itself a work of art. Just being here, you feel transported back in time. And it's just minutes' walk from all the great sights.
It's amazing to be back here. When I came, I was so scruffy. I was this sort of scruffy teenager, but I appreciated its beauty, and it's still mega beautiful now.
In Florence, you really are spoiled for choice. It's a hotbed of art and culture. You can't see everything, so don't rush. Savour the moment. Before I start, I want to introduce you to a Florentine institution. It was here that I first properly discovered cafe culture.
Whenever I come to these cities, I always do head for a cafe. This is right in the centre of town here. That's the Piazza della Signoria outside. So this was kind of, it was always like this sort of political, historical heart of the city. And it is the most fantastic place to sit and just do a bit of people watching. This is a restaurant called Rivoire. It's been here for well over 100 years, and it's famous for its chocolate. And I'm a big fan of chocolate.
Enrico Rivoire, who started this place, was the chocolate maker to the Italian royal family. He wanted to offer all Florentines such delights as cremini, hazelnut chocolate and the wonderful chocolate cream, and they're all still being served today. So what do you think? Do you think I should get Café Rivoire, which is coffee, chocolate, cream and crumble? Or should I go really minimalist and just get pure mochaccino, which is cappuccino and chocolate? What do you think? Do you think I should get that Café?
Yes, I suggest looking for the one. Yes.
So the coffee, chocolate, cream and crumble.
Yes.
Fantastic, yeah. Lovely. Thank you.
And so?
Yeah, that's enough, I think.
Okay.
I'll start with that.
Okay, perfect.
But I've got a very good excuse for coming here. It's not pure greed, because chocolate was massive in Florentine culture, right the way from medieval times onwards. It was a sort of luxury item, and they used to try, and literally, as I'm talking to you, my mouth's watering, they used to add sort of lemon and essences of flowers and things to it. So there was a real, not just a cafe culture, but a real chocolate culture in the city. It's like rude not to try some, wouldn't it? Well, the first time I came to Florence, I didn't come to these kind of cafes because I just had no money at all. So it seems a bit indulgent, but oh, thank
Okay.
you. Oh my
This Café Rivoire.
blimey.
Enjoy.
Thank you, grazie. Okay. It's kind of like a tiramisu, less coffee and a little bit more cream and sugar than I was expecting, but you know, now I've ordered it. Oh my God, that is fantastic. I can't believe this is traditional. This must be a kind of modern invention. It's so over the top.
I think it's time to introduce you to a very special creature. A goddess, in fact, and one who made a lasting impression on me when I was younger. She resides here in one of the most famous collections in the world. The incredible Uffizi Gallery.
This is amazing because I've been let in here before it opens, and there aren't just thousands of pieces of work here. There are hundreds of thousands, but there's one particular one that I want to come and seek out. So obviously the world-class works of art everywhere. But here she is. Oh my God, I love her so much. So this is Venus, the goddess of love and passion and desire and beauty. And this has to be one of the most beautiful paintings ever. A hymn to beauty of all kinds. It was done by a man called Botticelli here in Florence. I think Botticelli was a genius because he's kind of wrapped so much in his painting. It's all about sensuality and light and love and liberty and freedom. She's a gorgeous teenage girl with her life ahead of her. The roses are there because roses were a flower that Aphrodite, Venus loved because they were so sensuous and sweet. And that, by the way, is why we give each other roses on Valentine's Day. There's a woman covering her with this red cloak and she's got myrtle around her, and the myrtle plant is actually a mild aphrodisiac. Venus's pose is interesting because she's sort of covering her breasts and her sex, but she's drawing attention to them at the same time. It's pretty raunchy now. Just imagine what it was like when it was painted 600 years ago. It was really, really radical, and it made such an impact on Florence when it was painted. Commissioned by this family called the Medici, or the Medici, who were basically the kind of big boys of Florence. They were mega wealthy, mega powerful, and they proved their wealth to people by ordering up these fantastic works of art. And we don't actually know exactly how much they paid for this at the time. But recently, this painting, this has been bought for somewhere between 300 and 500 million euros by the Uffizi Gallery. It almost brings me to tears looking at it now. It's so, so beautiful.
I've only been in Florence for a short while, but already I feel intoxicated by it.
So I first came here 35 years ago. That is quite a long time ago. And I think the person I came with 35 years ago might be slightly jealous. So I'm writing them a postcard to tell them how beautiful it is. You know what it seems to me? It's that Florence isn't just somewhere that you appreciate beauty and pleasure. It's somewhere that you live it. It's a way of life. And that makes total sense because there was an ancient philosopher who the Florentines loved, and he said that beauty should induce wonderment and a delicious trouble, love and longing and a trembling that is all delight. How can you say better than that?
There's an icon of Florence which demonstrates all of that perfectly. It's a must-see. It's a staggering work by Michelangelo, who also painted the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel in Rome, and it's come to represent the fierce independence of this great city. This one's actually a replica, but it's great seeing this statue out in the open where the original once stood. This is the best position to observe his commanding presence.
So he's David, as in David and Goliath. He's a symbol of art of the Renaissance, and he's also come to symbolise Florence itself. The underdog fighting against a massive giant. If you look at him, he's glaring out in the direction of Rome, because he's meant to be challenging the power of Rome. And he's also pretty dishy. He is just gorgeous, isn't he? I mean, he's the most fantastic specimen in every way. And there's the most fantastic story about his nose. One of the guys who paid for him said that his nose was too big. Michelangelo knew it was perfect. So he climbed up with a chisel and a handful of marble dust, and he pretended to kind of do a bit of a nose job on David and threw down the dust, but he didn't change a thing. He knew that this was the incarnation of beauty, which it is.
Florence is thriving today, and it was a similar story 600 years ago. Back then, the all-powerful Medici family were running the city. They were bankers and grew immensely rich from all the trade that flourished here. Business was especially brisk on this bridge that links the two sides of the city.
So this is the Ponte Vecchio, means old bridge in Italian. There's been a bridge here for at least 800 years, and it's always been a magnet for shoppers.
Today, the bridge is lined with expensive jewellery shops, hoping to entice tourists. But the Ponte Vecchio wasn't always like this.
Originally, this was a place that butchers and tanners worked, but then there were a lot of complaints about that from the kind of terrible stench of the place. So they were shoved off, butchers and tanners were banned, and it was only goldsmiths and jewellers who were allowed to apply their trade here. This kind of tells us about the wealth of Florence. And it was all that wealth and trade and, you know, shopping mania that brought riches into Florence that paid for all the amazing art that's still here.
The River Arno is the lifeblood of Florence, and any of its 7 bridges are great places to pause for a while. I've got myself the perfect seat to enjoy the view and some open-air Vivaldi. Also, a chance to indulge in something that originated here in Florence, but is now enjoyed by millions of people all around the globe. Gelato, which is very similar to ice cream, but because it contains less cream, it's less fatty. It's churned more slowly, so it has less air and a much richer flavour. The result is a delicious Florentine treat. There's stracciatella, the very elegant Italian version of chocolate chip, or tangy Amalfi lemon sounds tantalising, but I'm going for the local favourite, crema fiorentina, a simple combo of egg yolks, milk and sugar, often flavoured with chestnut honey. Yum.
Oh my God. This is going everywhere. I'm glad to say that Florence is famous for its ice cream. This is something called Florentine cream. And there's a fantastic fact about ice cream. The Latin for ice is gelu, which is why ice creams are called gelato in Italian. And gelu comes from a beautiful ancient word called galos, which means to kind of smile brightly or laugh. So a gelato is something which gleams and sparkles and brings pleasure and joy to the world. And in this case, a lot of ice cream down my hand and arm. But there we are, you know, it's, it's, you know, la dolce vita.
Just someone clean your teeth. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you.
Thanks, Josh.
I owe you one.
If you think Florence is busy today, imagine it 600 years ago with the noise and chaos of a bustling medieval city. I'm on my way somewhere that offers an escape from the madding crowd. These are the famous Boboli Gardens, designed by Eleonora di Toledo, the insightful wife of one of the first powerful Medici men. She ran Florence during her husband's many absences, and this garden sanctuary was just one of her good ideas. Eleonora is a woman I much admire. Her shady avenues of cypresses, fragrant flowers and terraces of citrus trees created a green lung for Florence.
Those bells are so beautiful. And, you know, it feels really harmonious, this garden. I didn't expect there to be this peace. There's the sort of bustle of the city down below, and then you've just got this perfect peace. It's like you've kind of entered some kind of paradise. The idea was that it was here to nourish your soul.
Eleonora realised the significant ways art contributes to our well-being, and designed these gardens to accommodate some fascinating pieces. I'm on the hunt for two mythical lovers whose story tells a cautionary tale of forbidden lust.
So the artist here has created this whole kind of world out of this mad, spongy rock. Kind of slightly freaking me out, actually. So you've got gods and spirits. I think the sense would have been like you're entering some sort of mystical, magical cave. Just look at the ceiling. Look at that beautiful, beautiful art on the ceiling as well.
This was the Renaissance sort of meddling with the pagan classical world. There's a satyr with all his wine and like kind of panpipes. It's all a bit kind of, you know, out there and what's going to happen in the dark woods. So it's sort of saying that that world was dangerous. And the whole point of it was that it led to this pair down here. This is Helen, the Greek queen who is said to be the most beautiful woman in the world. And she's being abducted by Paris, a Trojan prince. And this was a really famous myth, one of the kind of the greatest love stories of all time, the love between Helen and Paris. But it's really dangerous because Helen was married to a Spartan king and she ran away from him. She left her daughter behind. The abduction of Helen sparked the Trojan War and led to the deaths of thousands and thousands of heroes. But it's here for a reason. This art was here to tell people about the dangers of lust and love and the conflict between duty and desire. And this whole thing was commissioned by a woman. So the fact you've got the most beautiful woman in the world centre stage is no coincidence. Bolboli Gardens are a fantastic oasis of calm. To take a moment before diving back into Florence's humming medieval streets. It's time for me to visit the most famous site in the city. The iconic dome of the Cathedral of Santa Maria del Fiore dominates the skyline and is on every postcard. Incredible to think it was completed in 1436, and there's quite a story to reveal about this magnificent dome.
So this is the inside of the dome that you can see right across the city, because that dome is the biggest of its kind in the world. So incredible.
This fresco is called The Last Judgment, and its message to the God-fearing Christians down below is crystal clear.
You can be really good and you end up having a delightful time, or you can be really bad and that is going to be painful for eternity. The dome, when it was built, was completely revolutionary. Nobody in the world has ever made a dome like that. And it was almost perfect, but not quite. So it started to split. You can just see that kind of jagged line coming down the middle of the painting.
I've had a brilliant day in Florence, but I'm ready to escape its busy streets. I'm heading out into the nearby countryside, which is simply stunning. I've been invited to dinner at a trattoria which overlooks the city. My host is Florentine born and bred, an artisan inspired by Florence's icons who's promised me some sensational local food.
She's gonna break it.
Cultural feast offered up by Florence, I've left the city far behind and headed north to seek inspiration in nature. This is the magnificent Lake Como in the Italian Alps. The perfect place to mess about in boats.
Well, this is fun. I'm so lucky because I've just come from Florence, where you find some of the most beautiful artworks in the world. And then to come here, which, you know, it's like you're in a giant mountain and lake painting here. It's staggering.
It's a place that's captivated the hearts of countless visitors throughout the ages.
That's Villa Oleana.
The white one.
Yeah, the white one.
As Adrienne points out.
George Clooney lives here, so that is a pretty lovely house to have.
As well as George, the likes of Madonna, Gianni Versace and Brad Pitt have all had homes here. The lake's breathtaking beauty has long evoked high-end good times, and it's drawn wealthy people and aristocrats since the Roman era.
So this is a Roman bridge.
Yeah, that's an original, almost 2,000 years old Roman bridge.
Beautiful little waterfall.
And you can see it's also a nice spot for diving.
Yeah.
Come on.
Here we go. Ah!
Ooh, that was a bomb.
That was, oh my God.
I'm told people have been doing this for years, but please don't try it at home. Just up the lake is the oldest villa on Como, and somewhere I'm really excited about seeing. Villa Pliniana is legendary and holds a commanding position on the lake shore. Through the ages, it's attracted pleasure seekers as diverse as Napoleon Bonaparte and Naomi Campbell. You could come to stay here, but it's so exclusive, it's price on request only. I hear this unique experience will set you back tens of thousands of euros a night.
So this amazing place is called Villa Pliniana after the ancient Roman author Pliny. He was basically like a kind of ancient Roman encyclopedia, so he travelled around and wrote about the things that he saw. And what was special about this place, so he was here before this villa was built, is that there's this mad waterfall that kind of appears for 6 hours and then it disappears. He had no idea why that was happening. This is the symbol of some of the dukes of the region. And by the way, Miley Cyrus stayed here, and she's got that tattooed on her arm.
I've arranged to meet Sam, who works with the present owners, and he's kindly letting me loose to explore the villa.
Hello, Bettany. Welcome to the Villa Pliniana.
I mean, first of all, I can't tell you how delighted I am to be here, because I know so much about this place, but I've never actually managed to make it in.
You finally made it. The villa itself has been waiting 500 years for you to arrive, so welcome.
That's very sweet. And is it all right for me to have a little
Absolutely.
poke
No,
around?
enjoy, take your time. It'll take you a while to explore the whole place, so
Okay.
don't get lost. We'll come look for you later. Enjoy.
Perfect. I might have to get lost for a couple of months.
Okay.
All right. So
All right,
nice.
enjoy.
Thank you. Bye. I mean, wow. What a room. Wow, this is incredible. Okay, that's cool. So this, I know what this is. This piano's around 200 years old, and this is where the composer, Rossini, sat, we're told, for 3 days and composed one of his most popular operas right here. Let's see if it still works. Oh, how fantastic. So I know that Napoleon loved this place and he stayed here and played billiards on this table. So the whole palace is built
natural waterfall. Oh, it's completely mad, isn't it? There are all kinds of secret passages in this place. This one leads out from one of the bedrooms. And, you know, it makes complete sense to know that these amazing writers, Percy Shelley and Mary Shelley, so Mary Shelley was the author of Frankenstein. They came and stayed here, and she'd actually already written the book, but she was so inspired by the kinds of gruesome, secret mysticism of this place. Just imagine the people who sat here and looked out over that view over time.
Villa Pliniana has real presence, and some locals have sworn they've seen ghosts here.
There's a great story about two of the guests here. This remarkable pair, they're a prince and princess in the middle of the 19th century. And it was very scandalous because they basically eloped and came and hung out here to have a raging affair for 8 years, no less. And the story went that they had these wild, passionate nights, and then at midnight every night, to cool the fever of their love, they would wrap themselves in sheets and throw themselves off down there into the lake. And that's probably where the story of the ghosts comes from, because people on the other side of the lake used to see these kind of white apparitions dive into the water at night. You know, good for them. Way to go.
I've had a gorgeous, inspiring time at Villa Pliniana. But there are other modern locations on the lake that offer the same kind of serenity. This is the rather fabulous Il Sereno Hotel. It oozes style and sophistication.
This is the penthouse.
This suite could set you back a mere €8,000 a night. I'll come back to you on that. It is gloriously discreet and peaceful, though.
All you can hear is the lake lapping and birdsong. That's it, there's no sounds of modern life at all.
Finally, I get the chance for a dip in Lake Como. Sort of.
This is definitely La Dolce Vita.
I've been luxuriating in the delights of Lake Como, where natural beauty combines with classic Italian style and elegance. It all makes sense when you realise it's just 30 minutes away from one of the most chic places on the planet. I'm on my way to Milan, a modern powerhouse and a city that Italians see as the centre of fashion, design and good taste. I want to explore the culture that makes Milan unique, to see if any of that chic elegance can rub off on me. Milano Centrale certainly makes a strong initial impression.
Real statement station.
Milan's architecture reflects its eclectic history, but the magnificent Basilica of the Nativity of St Mary, or the Duomo as it's known, always holds centre stage.
I always come and pay my respects to this place, because it is just fabulous. And the Milanese love it as well. They love it so much. They started it in the 14th century. They took nearly 600 years to complete it. And it's just peppered with all this beauty.
There are around 3,500 statues on it, and some people think there are more statues here than any other building in the world. There are some people, mad people, who don't like it. So Oscar Wilde, when he came here, said that it was an awful failure and everything was vile in it, which is rude. He must have been having a bad day.
Milan is a fast-paced, chic, trend-setting city, one of the world's oldest fashion hubs. Brands like Versace and Armani were born here. They've loved fashion here since the Renaissance. The word milliner means someone who makes posh hats from Milan. Tonight, I'm meeting Milan's fashion elite. So what to wear? The famous Galleria has been the place to shop since 1877.
It is basically like walking into an ancient temple, or this was a temple to shopping. And it's all quite beautiful, but it's completely round.
The Galleria has all the big names. Gucci, Chanel, Prada, they're all here. But Milan has more to offer. Tucked away in the back streets are some interesting independent shops. Uberta Zamboletti owns this stylish little boutique.
Hello. Hi. How are you?
I'm sure she can help.
I've just been wandering around and feeling a bit out of place in some of the shops, and I was drawn in here. What's the story here? It's gorgeous.
The story is that I just want to make all women happy. I want this to be a vehicle of joy, basically.
Vehicle of joy.
Yeah, a vehicle of joy. Exactly.
You can definitely help me out then.
Color is definitely very important to us.
Black is definitely my default.
I think black is perfectly fine. It's very safe. If you had color on you, you would become even more beautiful. You know, you would explode. You would be this like wow thing that, you know. I'll show you. Let me. It's actually colorful, but not too difficult. Fine.
That is
something like
lovely,
that, for instance. Otherwise, we have. Let me see. Sort of we have this. This is good, huh? It has pockets. Good. Pockets are important.
Can we just have a moment
Pockets
about pockets?
matter.
Pockets and
Matter.
they matter.
Right?
Women's clothes never have pockets in, and it's impossible. You always have to carry a stupid bag.
I totally agree.
Okay, I'll try that on, and that,
Okay.
and that. Thank you. I'll just be about 8 hours trying these on. Okay. Thank you.
La bella, look at you.
Do you think?
Yeah, absolutely.
If I walked into a bar wearing that, would people go like, think I was a bit too much? Or not?
No way, they would think you look amazing.
Okay, thank you.
Milan boasts some of the most prestigious fashion schools in the world. And some of their leading lights have invited me for drinks and a chat at a pretty swanky hotel.
What do you think?
Hello.
Hi, buonasera.
Welcome to Buenos
Yeah, grazie, grazie.
Prego, buonasera.
I'm hoping these movers and shakers can shed some light on what part fashion plays in Milan's good life.
Hey, how are you? See you. You all look amazing. Yeah. Beautiful. So lovely.
Nicola Guarini heads up the Milan Fashion Institute, and Alba Capellieri is a professor there.
And is that a Prosecco? I'll definitely.
It is a
Oh my gosh.
The Italian aperitivo.
Of course, of course. Wow, it's been so interesting for me being here in Milan. I mean, I've got to admit, I dress quite shabbily normally because I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to wear? You know, you're all looking pretty gorgeous, I've got to say. Do you feel that you sort of have to look nice, or is that just a really lovely thing that people all dress up in the streets?
It's not that you feel a pressure, but let's say that if you are out of tone with the style of the city, you understand it.
Talk about fashion, people can say it's very superficial, but actually it's people having real craftsmanship and creating things.
In Italy, you get more or less 100 billion turnover of the fashion industry.
It employs more people than, like, I don't know, automotive, for instance.
It's a matter of culture, our culture.
We have such a deep education in beauty and also for fashion. If you go back to the Renaissance, everything started from there.
Amazing. Okay, that's a brilliant answer. And I've got another question. So I'm on this kind of grand tour of the 21st century, searching for La Dolce Vita. What is La Dolce Vita? Are we living it now? Is it here? What do you think?
So Dolce Vita is something that you not only live, but you really go through. It's something that you live with your full senses. It's something that you need to nourish yourself. This is what we try to do in Italy, to nourish ourselves with beauty. It's really living a moment to its fullest. It's enjoying that moment, and you feel it.
Amazing. So I say, here's to La Dolce Vita.
Yes.
La Dolce Vita.
La Dolce Vita.
La Dolce Vita.
Yes.
Chin chin.
Chin chin.
I think that got it. La Dolce Vita isn't an experience, but an approach to life. You must learn to appreciate all the sweet, all the good things, whether that's a dress design, a beautiful painting, a delicious meal, or a heavenly view.